The year is 1980, and as far as pop culture is concerned, America and the rest of the world are terrified of being nuked. I mention pop culture as my point of reference because I wasn't a living, breathing organism in the early 1980s. I'm going off movies here, but of course smart game developers play off pop culture and sometimes even people's fears, leading them to release popular games, such as this one. Missile Command has you controlling a big shooty thing, taking out incoming nukes while defending 6 stupidly close cities. You move a crosshair across the screen, shooting the direction of the incoming projectile. What sets this apart from other shooters is the fact that you have to shoot and guess where you think the projectile might end up. If you shoot where the projectile currently is, by the time your big shooty thing's white dot reaches that spot, the nuke may have already wiped something out. If all cities get wiped out, you have no choice but to sit there and weep before trying again to better your score. This is an arcade game at its purest form and as addictive as AMC shows. I know that's a poor analogy, but by damn, isn't it a true one? The simplicity is overwhelming. You'll sit down and you won't be able to get back up. But that's arcade magic for you. You'll shit rainbows. Unfortunately, I'm incredibly new to the Atari 2600 and of course this game, as reflected in my gameplay footage. Sadly, I didn't get to play this game in the 1980s like a lot of other YouTubers because, well, I didn't exist. Be ageist all you want, but it's not my fault I wasn't born for another decade or so. So instead of starting 30 years ago, I'm beginning now. Better late than never should be the slogan for all retro gamers. Just you wait until I get my hands on a cathode ray tube amusement device. At my current adoption rate, that acquisition is set for the year 2034. So yeah, stay tuned for that review. Hopefully by then, Retro Game On will be a global conglomerate who puts microchips in your cereal. But yeah. In my playthroughs, I only managed to crack about 12,000 points or so. Considering that you're rewarded with a new city every 10,000 points or so, I think my status as a noob at this game has been solidified for sure. This was originally released as an arcade version, using a trackball instead of this thing. While the Atari 2600 port is the most notable, it was also released on the Atari's 8-bit line of computers, the Atari Lynx, the Game Boy, and also the Jaguar. The Jaguar may have been a terrible console, but by damn did it have a cool name. There are 3 different types of nukes attempting to obliterate you. There are ones that fall diagonally, ones that are drunk and just fall straight down, and a few little bastards that don't leave a trail at all and fall as a fast dot, making lots of obnoxious noise in the process. You only have a set amount of ammo, and if you use all that up, you just have to sit there and wait for the next round while everything gets taken away from you and destroyed. The upside is that whatever ammo you don't use actually counts towards extra points at the end of each round. Also, the amount of cities left at the end of each round earns you some sweet points. It should also be noted that you can only have so many bullets on the screen at any one time, or the game will make more obnoxious noise at you. The resulting size of the explosions do fluctuate though, which is very useful and is actually a really cool looking animation. So I guess on that note I should probably talk about the graphics. I kind of don't really know what to say though. I mean, they are what they are. You can't really expect more from a first generation 8-bit console. I mean, ultimately, it's just a bunch of glorified dots, but it's not really an issue. You'll play this game for hours. I mean, simply, it's fun. Having said that though, I probably wouldn't play this if you have epilepsy. Hell, you probably shouldn't even be watching this video. So go on, get out of here, go watch a real YouTube video. There really isn't too much sound to talk about in this game, and not a whole lot of music either. Some explosions here and there, the shooty sounds. Like the graphics, I don't think it's really worth talking about. They are what they are. Fun fact, this is the oldest game I've ever reviewed, clocking it at 34 years. What a frickin' milestone. It's good, I was getting sick of reviewing games from circa 1999. This game is truly old school, if I don't sound too lame saying that phrase. I probably sound lame anyway, who cares? Well, thanks for watching my lameness, guys. Feel free to check out my fag book and my blog in the word box below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, but only if you're cool. Cool kids only.